It was the Renault Megane Scenic of 1996 that kicked off the trend for taller, roomier versions of traditional family hatchbacks, and it's a bandwagon that many others have jumped on, including Ford. Its C-Max model is based on the Focus hatchback and has just been revised with sharper styling and refreshed dynamics. This is classic midlife facelift territory, so new bumpers, new lights, Ford's new grille, there's a revised interior, and we will get to all of that in a moment, but first I'm going to have a look at the boot. Ford actually offers two versions of the C-Max. There's a 7-seater version, or this cheaper and more popular 5-seater. It's got a really big boot, there's room for a space saver spare wheel under there, low loading lip, all the things you want as a family, loads of room for a baby buggy, but things do get more complicated once you get into the back. First thing to note is that all versions of the C-Max feature rear seats that fold and tumble away, or can be removed entirely to boost load space. Word of warning though, they are heavy. Unlike in rivals such as the BMW 2 Series Active Tourer, you can't slide these seats forwards and backwards. However, legroom is good, lots of headroom even with the panoramic roof that we've got in this car. This third seat, you can fit 3 across here, but parents beware, you're not going to get a child seat in there. There's no Isofix and it's quite narrow. The interior is certainly an improvement on the previous C-Max, although it's still not as classy as a Golf SV. And whoever designed this touchscreen system appears to have forgotten that it's going to be used by people who are also trying to concentrate on driving. Just look at how many buttons there are on this thing and how small some of them are. It is bewildering to use at times. However, we do like the amount of storage on offer and these big door bins. There are 3 engines worth considering, starting with Ford's 1-litre petrol EcoBoost, which sounds like it would be horrifically overwhelmed in a car of this size, but it's actually really good. Next up is the best-selling 118 horsepower 1.5-litre diesel, which is gutsy and economical, and then last but not least is the 2-litre diesel that we are driving today. With 148 horsepower, it's usefully punchier than the 1.5, if more expensive, and the claimed 64 miles per gallon for the manual version is pretty respectable in a car like this. I do like how responsive this engine feels for a diesel, and once you're out of town, it's pretty quiet too. Gearbox wise, there are 2 options. There's a 6-speed manual, or on diesels you can also have a 6-speed power shift automatic, which is really good. It's smooth and it's quick to shift. It does, however, cost in terms of fuel economy by about 5 miles per gallon. In this particular car at the moment, we're getting about 45 to the gallon. There's a bit of wind noise at motorway speeds, but otherwise the C-Max is a decent long-distance cruiser. We like the elevated driving position, which gives you a good view out over traffic, although over-the-shoulder visibility is slightly restricted, though you can specify auto parking functions. Speaking of visibility, we do like this little mirror up here, which allows you to keep an eye on the kids in the back. However, the best bit about the C-Max is that it's a sensible family car that's also fun to drive. No, seriously, the steering is beautifully weighted and very precise. The ride is really nicely controlled without being overly firm, and while the body does lean a bit in corners, it's really not bad for a car of this type. Ford does the whole ride and handling balance so well on cars like the Fiesta and the Focus, and it's a trick it's managed to pull off with the C-Max as well. Other plus points include that all models are well specified, running costs will be low, and there's lots of safety equipment such as front, side and window airbags. Plus you can specify active devices like blind spot monitors on the options list. If interior versatility is your number one concern, then a Citroën C4 Picasso or Volkswagen Golf SV remains the stronger option. However, if you want a family car that drives as well as a hatchback, then the C-Max is the one to go for. Our final piece of advice though is don't pay the list price. Fact is, nobody does for a Ford, so if you want one of these, get your haggling head on and get down to your dealer. You can read full reviews of the C-Max and all its rivals by clicking up here to go to Telegraph Car's website, and of course don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking down here.